Welcome back. I'm joined today by three experts to discuss the issues of the day that are of interest to me. My first guest is a graduate of the Treadstone program, the same clandestine training operation that produced super spy Jason Bourne. Please welcome Cyrus Burns.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Here in New York on some business. Glad to pop in.
What kind of business?
Well, UN is a couple blocks.
It is very close, dangerously close.
Then do you know where Turtle Bay Preschool is?
Turtle Bay Preschool is two blocks down.
Much obliged.
My next guest is the lesser-known middle child of the famed Gatsby family. Please welcome Jen Gatsby, the good Gatsby. Hello, Jen.
Hi, Brian. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. How are you finding New York? You don't live here?
Oh, my God, pricey. Well, I lucked out, though. I got a good deal on kayak. Flew right in for a bargain.
I was just under the impression you had a very
a lot of people.
lifestyle.
No, Brian, a lot of people do that. That is my brother.
And my last guest is the legendary communist revolutionary dictator who ruled Cuba for over 50 years. Please welcome Fidel Castro.
Hey, Brian, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything.
What American Castros do has nothing to do what Cubano Castrons do. That's what I want to say.
Are you talking about this guy in Cleveland, the kidnapper? His last name was Castro.
Please, Brian.
Were you related?
Oh, well, yes, we spent every Cuba Thanksgiving.
Every
with
Cuba
them.
Thanksgiving?
Yes, it's there.
With Ariel Castro, the Cleveland kidnapper.
He used to play in the basement all the time. Who would know? Who would know that this is what would happen with him?
Is he like a cousin or something, this guy?
He's my son.
He's your son?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ariel Castro, the Cleveland kidnapper, is your son?
Yes, yes, I have many women, and, you know, I didn't know.
Interesting.
I should have been there, Brian.
I guess, well, we have to add that he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Where, in your country?
Oh, fair enough. Okay, let's talk about the IRS in big trouble this week. It was revealed that they've been targeting conservative groups for audits and other things. Do you think this was a deliberate effort to intimidate these groups, like the Tea Party folks, these conservative-leaning groups?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'm actually on loan from Treadstone to the IRS right now. I'm just doing, for the past 6 months, I've just been doing IRS work.
You just from the what is?
It's a huge switch for me. Like, I speak a dozen languages. When I fly places, kayak is a disaster. What I do, I just cling to the wheel of a plane and fly wherever I want. You know, I'm trained to kill people.
Yes.
By punching them or hitting them with a cup or something like that. But now what they have me doing is going through when people, apply for tax exempt
The
status.
501c4.
Yeah, you have to make sure that they're not a political action and things like that. So you have to review all these papers. And I'll tell you, between you, me, and the lamppost, I'll do that for 5 or 6 hours, and then I'll just go kill them. Like
Really?
I got to do it my way, and so yeah. And I think that's a lot of where these rumors or the fact of this intimidation comes from, is that I just don't. I'm not a reader. I'm not like a visual learner.
Right. You don't.
So
want to be
rather
bothered.
than like go through all this stuff, I'll just go and like sort of what I do is I break you in half, and then I have the top of your bottom half there, and the top of your top half, and you pour acid in there. And usually 5 or 6 hours later, it's no big deal.
Jen.
Yeah.
You think this was a deliberate effort on behalf of the IRS to kind of intimidate these groups?
You know, I mean, I don't know much about that. My husband and I actually received a refund this year, so we were the IRS and I are pretty close. My husband and I combined income was 20 in the 20s. Yes, yes, modest, but
20.
so we've never had any problem with the
20 million?
20s, thousands.
Really? Mm-hmm. See, I wouldn't get that. Your brother projects a more opulent image.
He sure does. He sure does, Brian. But again, I'm not my brother.
Right, sorry.
As my mother always reminded
Of
me. Just be what you are and just sort of.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Sure, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, there's
if
not.
you're happy, you're happy.
Thank you. I am
you're
happy sometimes.
Okay. Fidel, was this a deliberate effort on behalf of the IRS to intimidate these people, these Tea Party groups and others?
Oh, well, let me tell you, Brian. You come to my country and try to go against my government.
Yeah.
I take everyone and I put them in a giant banana machine and make a huge human banana out of you.
Well, you seem familiar with this whole thing.
Yeah. America doesn't have the banana technology, but that's something we've been working on. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of sugar caning?
Sugar caning? No.
Yeah,
I mean, the sugar cane.
No, this is enhanced interrogation.
Enhanced
technique.
interrogation.
I cannot get the hang of saying it, but you take them and you
Say
give-
torture, it's easier.
You give them little sweeties and little cakes and pies
Okay.
and lots of soda.
Okay.
And then over years they gain weight, they lose ability to process blood sugar, and then they cut off parts of their body.
So sugar caning is turning people diabetic.
Whatever you, in your fancy American capitalist language, want to call it, we call it sugar cane.
Sugar caning. I'm sorry, have you ever sugar caned someone? Does that sound like
I'm more of like a quick operations guy. Like it takes years. That's more of like an institutional
Sure.
thing. I've jammed now and later's down somebody's throat until they suffocated.
Okay, so you want instant, you want
Yeah,
instant.
I gotta go.
okay.
I got places.
That's
Right.
good, funny too, because it's like now or later,
Yeah, exactly.
but it's now.
Now,
you
better be
know?
now. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back. This week's Under the Table sponsor comes to us from a longtime big fan of the show, Lori Martini. Her younger brother, Louis Martini, is running for district judge in Media, Pennsylvania, which is right outside of Philadelphia. The primary is on May 21st, so please, if you're in Pennsylvania, vote for Louis Martini. If you have loved ones in Pennsylvania, tell them to vote for Louis Martini. If you regularly commit voter fraud, then please vote 12 times for Louis Martini. Louis Martini, a judge you can trust. With a sister who sends us money for a commercial she had no creative control over. We'll be right back. So what's the most intimidating thing you've ever said?
I'm about to murder you.
Oh. All right, thank you very much, Jibby. Before we wrap up, today is Armed Forces Day. So what are you doing for Armed Forces Day?
USO tour.
USO tour.
Yeah, Demi Lovato and I are going to a base in Afghanistan. I'm going to paralyze her from the neck down.
Jen, what are you doing for Armed Forces Day?
Like every year, Brian, I am hosting a very big, very lavish party. So it's going to be pretty great. Yeah.
Wow, how
Yeah.
lavish. Black tie affair?
No, really
Champagne?
casual, real casual. Can get hot in the backyard. It's sort of a potluck.
A potluck
Yep.
in the backyard?
Yep.
Champagne?
No alcohol.
No booze.
No cigars.
No smoking.
No music.
Send us
Pretty
the invite.
variable.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
sure.
Yeah, send it to my Earthlink account.
Okay. I'm on Earthlink as well, so that should be.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you guys just got Earthlink. That's a pretty.
We
that's
just got Earthlink.
Oh, good for you guys. Wow, you're really moving on up
I
there.
approved one internet terminal.
No kidding. Good for you. What are you doing on Armed Forces Day? You're up here, right?
Well, I'm here visiting. My son Dustin is at NYU.
Dustin Castro at
Dustin
NYU.
Castro, yeah, he got a crazy haircut, making, some short films and such. Also, we're planning a Cuban invasion of Florida.
Oh, fantastic. All right, that's all the time we have for this week's BS of A. Please join us next week for a brand new episode. Like us on Facebook, love us on Twitter, and watch our clips on YouTube. I'm your host, Brian Sack, and if you have kids, please sit them down and talk to them about bullying by the IRS. Good night, America. Anybody want the baby besides you?
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't be able to not crack it in half.
Yes, you little baby.
Oh, adorable. I'm barren. Do you have any? Oh, you have
Almost.
several
Maybe-
children.
You're barren?
Oh, sure.
You're barren?
Do you know if you throw a baby up in the air as hard as you can, just the pressure differential from here to as high
Oh,
as you get,
no.
just its ears are. No way, fatso.